Good day everyone and welcome back to Phprunner tips and tricks. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, you can become a member for as little as $1 per month. Your support helps me creating content and growing this channel. Today, as promised, we're continuing with the Field Spinner event. I already have the project open here on the screen and we're going to look at the second method of setting this up. You can see the project table here. So let's head straight to the events page. Yesterday we worked on the add page before process event. Everything we did here will stay exactly the same. You'll notice I also change the field name back to units in stock. The minimum and maximum values 8 and 17 still work exactly as we set them yesterday, so we won't touch those today. Now let's move to the before record after event. This is where things will change slightly. I'm going to comment out yesterday's code, but I'll leave it in place for a reference. Then from line 14 to 20, I'll add today's code. Here's what's happening. I'm pulling the field name and table name from the session variable just like yesterday. The reason for this is that I need to generate a proper field label. For that, I use the labels API getFieldLabel function with the table name and field name variables. This returns the field label. We will need that field label in the JavaScript onload event, and the way to pass it through is by setting a proxy variable with pageObject.setProxyValue. That's the main change in the before record added event. Technically, we could have done this in the before display event as well, since anywhere the page object is available, this will work. For now, I'll keep it here, and if it doesn't work properly, I'll move it over later. Now let's look at the JavaScript onload event. Everything from yesterday stays the same, except this time I'm also extracting the label value from the new proxy variable. So var label equals proxy.fieldLabel. Notice the difference. Yesterday's proxy looked like this. Proxy.fieldSpinner.fieldName. That's because it contained an array. Today's proxy just holds a single value, the field label, so it looks simpler. The jQuery stays exactly the same. We will set the type minimum and maximum values just like yesterday. Next, I'll uncomment today's additional JavaScript code. This adds a before save validation. Here's what it does. It gets the current value from the control using the field name from yesterday's proxy. It uses Phprunner's built-in validation so that if the field is required, the standard validation still applies. Finally, it adds a custom range validation error message using the label we just created. That's why it shows the correct field name in the message. Units in stock must be between 8 and 17. Now, before testing, let's go to the page designer. Since I'm working with units in stock, I need to add one more thing, a simple HTML div for the error message. I'll insert a text HTML element with the code div, and the ID will be error_message. I'll place this div right below the units in stock field. Back at the events page inside the JavaScript onload event, I'll use jQuery to fill that div with the error message. To make it look like a proper error, I also add custom CSS instead of the default host color. I'll use the template standard error color, a dark wine red. I'll also make the font bold. Now let's save, build and test. First, I'll check if the validation works when I enter a value outside the allowed range. Let's say I type 5 instead of 8 and hit save. And it says undefined must be between 8 and 17. Now what does undefined means? Our proxy variable is set to late. Let's move the code to the before display event. And there we go. Unit in stock must be between 8 and 17. That's exactly what we wanted. If you remember, I said earlier that if it doesn't work properly in the before record added, I'll move it to before display. And that's exactly what I had to do since the proxy variable wasn't being set in time before. Moving it to the before display fixed the issue. And that's it. Our second method of handling Phprunner validation. Now let's go to the chat and see if there are any questions. Okay, so let's see. Any questions? That was a quick one. I do apologize if there's some background noise on my microphone. There's something I don't know what's wrong right now, but if it's not coming through, then the noise cancelling at least is working. Anyway, I've made one small mistake. Let's quickly fix that. Let's just go back to the project. The before record added event always needs to return something. So you can't just comment everything out. You see here we returned whatever that function was returning, but now we just need to put it back to return true, or else nothing will really work, or it can create huge issues. So this is important. Okay, and then while I wait for some people to maybe do some questions, what I will do is I will see if I can quickly do a demonstration on the upcoming website, which I'm still waiting for. Let me just who are they? Google or YouTube, whoever, to approve the application. So this is basically, in a nutshell, this is all designed within Phprunner. It's just a simple thing, what you know, a landing page or a front page, or they asked for this. So by the way, they're happy with the code, but they have other issues with this. The website must have a home page like here. This is the page we are currently on, and then you can now log in from here on and so on. So if we go log in, what I want to show you, the video that we just, now you will be able to click on channel members or channel subscribers if you are willing to pay the $1 per month. I'm just going to sign on as the administrator now, because I and let's just go, there's still one, you guys knows all of this. Let me just go here to let you contact or something like that. I create short video. Okay, you will basically end up on this page here. Now the video that you just watched was this Phprunner JS validation. If you click on script collection, you will see here's everything. Your list page before process. You can open up the code. You can copy the code, and also there's a detailed explanation line by line what's going on. So the idea is you will be able to not copy the code really. You see that's the return true that I forgot to add during the actual thing. So here we have return true now, and we are doing that now. And there's the comment here. Remember, this event always needs to return true or false. So true is what it will do for now, else it won't save anything. And then the third one here is more just the same. It's the before display event. You can see here, add page before display. That's the event we are working on. The code is PHP. And again, so here you can basically try and understand what the thing was doing, and you can use samples of my code. You don't have to copy all the code. If you only want a piece of code, you can just use a piece and go and build your own application. And this is the JavaScript onload event. Quite complicated, but again the explanation is nicely lined out here. So that will be for everybody that can afford the $1 per month. And I have there's some issues with other countries like in the UK, where all countries where the local currency is higher than the United States dollar, they get charged like $5 instead of $1. And so I spoke to somebody from the UK yesterday, and he asked me if it's possible that he can pay me for a year, basically $12 or something, and then instead of going through let me just log out here, instead of going through the YouTube button over here, you can just get a normal username and password and sign in that way. So that's also possible. I can send out an invoice if you want to. If you want to do that, you on the homepage of this website, there is a contact us. All you can do is just basically fill in your information, and I will be able to reply. I know there's no name here. Just make sure you put your name in the message box, and everything will be fine. I will be able to reply on your mail. So the link for this thing, while we wait for YouTube, and maybe just a contact form, will be in the description as well. But anyway, no questions. It doesn't look like there's any questions yet. Doesn't look like there are any questions at this point in time. So, well, anyway, that's what I have for you. Tomorrow is a public holiday in South Africa, so with your permission, I'll love to take that day off. I may not do anything on that day tomorrow. It's been a tough time for me at the moment. Anyway, may you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully this was helpful. Till next time. Bye bye.